Parental Parody is all about sarcastically lamenting and venting about the stressful and the mundane side of family life. I'm not a natural at the parenting thing, and rather than improve on my parenting skills, I simply found it easier to take the proverbial and blog about it.
I was told a really good tactic when you're about to public speak, and that's to picture you all in your underwear. Just so you know, there's no Lycra, there's no multi-pack, Target, beige, white, off-white, any of that. You're welcome. So my catchphrase for Parental Parody is survival via wine and dummies. I've got 3 kids who've outgrown their dummies, and I'm still completely clueless when it comes to parenting, hence the cask of wine. I need to use it in bulk. Parental Parody came about as the result of my inherently crap parenting, similar to Jackie's, but in the true absolute sense of crap, coupled with my inherent sarcasm. While my sarcastic humour used to be satisfied at work, debating the physical logistics of The Rock versus Vin Diesel while perving on men in uniform on an army base, it all changed when I had my first baby. Now, I know that most people spend the 9 months of pregnancy preparing for that new baby. I pretty much used that time to discard my sadistic Lycra underwear and eat for Australia. Now, when I found myself at home with this gorgeous little newborn who I love dearly, but whose only reaction to my witty Britney jokes and lewd George Clooney references was the occasional ironically timed bowel movement, yes, I was deliriously happy, but I was also, to be honest, feeling really, really isolated. And I was completely out of my comfort zone, and I was totally unprepared. What happens next? I really, honestly and truly thought I am absolutely missing something on this whole parenting gig. I don't get it. Love this child. This is what I was put on the earth to do. Brilliant, I've done it, but what the hell do I do with it now? What do you do with a child until it's old enough to come shopping and provide fashion advice that is not influenced by the colours of the Wiggles? What do you give a toddler when it's too young for a baby chino? At what age is it acceptable to ignore them at the park and instead focus on Twitter, confident that they're not going to launch themselves off the top of the highest, pointiest object in the playground, or even worse, come up to you chewing on something when you didn't take any food with you to the playground? None of these answers actually came to me logically or naturally, and not one single step of that path seemed obvious to me. I truly did not get it. I was never the parent calmly pulling out the fruit and the vegetable sticks. I was the one always saying, yeah, 3 Happy Meals, please. Other mothers taught their toddlers to clap and to say mum. I taught mine to say poo and dad in the same sentence and go to their father. Being both sarcastic and lazy, I'd fire off emails moaning about my dodgy parenting while simultaneously taking the piss out of everyone who did it better than me. At some point, someone, I say someone, it was actually multiple people, suggested/begged that I write a blog instead of email them. And that's when I realised that what was essentially sarcastic whining and venting for me may be entertaining for other people. So armed with absolutely no knowledge of what a blog was, I mean, seriously, I had to Google it. I came up with ProBlogger, I came up with Woogs World, and I came up with Glowless. I'm not kidding. So I started stalking all 3. Only 2 of them are aware of it. ProBlogger wasn't until now. He's probably going to go back and check. And so I started Parental Parody, basically putting a sarcastic slant on what was real, everyday parenting for me. I find it easier to write about my frequent parenting facepalm moments than the touchy-feely moments. Ask me to write about holding my twins for the first time, and I can't. But I tell you what, sorry, I'm still coming to terms with how the hell I managed to produce twins. My lovely little obstetrician went, oh, you'll try very hard. And I can't, but if you ask me to write about the time I was so desperate for a wee at the playground that I screamed across an entire crowded playground, if you get in the car, I'll give you a lolly. At which point every parent turned around horrified. Yeah, I can write about that, absolutely. My family, they're great sports where my blog is concerned. My husband, who I refer to as number one hubby, mostly to keep him in check and remind him that he's easily replaced by number two if George Clooney decides he likes kids, or if Brad Pitt wants to downgrade and Harvey's low to 3 or 3.5 if you want to compare me to Angelina, size-wise. He's incredibly supportive of my blogging, in as much as when he sort of comes over to me regularly and he says, "Oh, what you doing? At the computer again? Blogging? Again? Great. So what's for dinner?" The feral threesome, who I term my loving children, will undoubtedly attempt to emancipate themselves one day on the grounds of total and utter humiliation by blog. Miss 6, who thinks she's a Miss 25, which she probably gets from me, to be fair. She regularly asks me about Twitter and the bloggers she's heard me talk about. When she wants to freak me out, she taps away on the little mini laptop saying she's just blogging Facebook and tweeting Hannah Montana and she's updating Glowless and Mrs. Woog on what's happening, and I'm thinking, oh dear God, she better not be talking about the cask wine. In actual fact, she's only on Nickelodeon. She's got no idea what she's doing, but it is so funny to watch my husband freak out and run over to the computer. The twin tornado, I call them that because they are like a tornado, leaving a path of destruction in their wake, which one day I'll get around to cleaning up. They're too young to understand, and they're too busy trying to enact natural selection upon each other to take any notice. I'm not kidding when I tell you it's taken every ounce of my limited parenting skills not to enrol those two in a world championship wrestling training school for toddlers. Kris Jenner, she's got nothing on me. If I can get those two in, it will be gold. Miss 3 is a tyrant, and she'll overthrow me as head of the family in some kind of epic coup, probably by age 8, at which point she will take over the blog, just be advised. Mr. 3, he is a child of modern technology. He currently refers to himself as .com. When he starts wearing his shorts around his bum crack, that's when I'm intervening. But for now, he's mastered the art of a fist bump because he practiced it on the web camera. And being that my own alter ego is a 14-year-old skater dude, I am so freaking proud, you have no idea. Every single day, I fail them in some small way, usually small, thankfully. And I can always find a sarcastic blog post in it. I like to think of my blog as a place where other parents can go to feel superior and capable in comparison. At the end of the day, I've found an outlet for my sarcasm and a solution to my genuine feelings of isolation. If others enjoy the sarcasm and my version of humour, then even better. Of course, until I enrolled the twins in the pre-schooling childcare and playgroup at my daughter's school, and after a few emails back and forth where I was totally professional and the great Uber mother, one of the women went, "Oh, I've read your blog." We've been once. And I've got to tell you, then it was only after I went to a boozy lunch, I'll be honest. So I wanted to finish off Letterman style with my own personal blogging top 5. And number 5 is PR and reviews. I'm going to be honest, I love them. They give me opportunities and experiences I wouldn't have otherwise been able to afford. Next month, we're off to Bali to review an all-inclusive resort. Bar staff, be ready. Creche, be warned. At number 4, is solidarity and reassurance. Totally killing my cool image, I know. It is so awesome to find a group of bloggers who will read your blog and go, "Well, I'm not going to report you to docs because I actually get that." And also, more importantly, the time I was talking on Twitter to one blogger about how I fashioned my mummy tummy into a talking face when we had a flight delay, and she thought it was genius, and I thought fabulous. And number 2 is new friends, awesome fellow bloggers who are well aware of my crap parenting ethos, and they still talk to me anyway. Maybe not in public, but, you know, I'm telling you, I've got the DMs. My actual catchphrase at blogging events is, I don't know if you know this, but I know Glowless, like in real life. Yep. We've actually been flagged as potential trouble passengers on a flight before it had even left the gate because we would not shut up. And when they asked us to shut up because they couldn't do the safety demonstration and there was a nervous passenger, red flagged 2 bulls, I tell you. I've actually relied on her to fill in the blanks the morning after more than once, and she's had to pull me away from a sporting superstar who I didn't realise was who he was. So thank you, Glowless. It's quite a long catchphrase, I realise, and I should probably work on refining it a bit. And at number 1 in my personal top 5 of blogging, something I'm pretty confident there's very few others who can say. You ready for this? I've slept with Mrs. Woog. It's true, and on more than one occasion. We're prepared to hold a joint press conference to address rumours that Tiger Woods is fathering our love child. That'll be later. And on that scandalous note, the person who cheers the loudest gets a suck from my wine cask as I leave. Whoever laughs as I trip gets nothing. And I would like to say, in the words of Mr. 3, oh God, I'm ageing him already, my little boy, peace out, homies.